So how do you end up meeting Fat Joe and working with him? Because the Beatnuts produced the song "The Shit Is Real" off the debut album "Represent," right? Were you a part of that?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I did that in my basement. Actually, the beat. Um, so yeah, so Joe, um, we met him when uh, the Flojo. I believe Diamond D did that. Um, so the A&R at Relativity at the time didn't like the mix. He felt it could have been better, so um, we went into the B room of the old power play, and we did the mix there. So so that at that time, that was around the time I met Joe, Fat Joe.
And that was Fat Joe the Gangsta at that time,
Yes.
which
Yep.
is crazy. 31 years now from that album, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So what was the session like for that song?
I mean, everything was there already, so it wasn't like we're just mixing. I just remember mixing the
For "The
record.
Shit Is Real" or for
No,
the
oh no, no,
other
no,
song?
no. The Flow Joe. I thought you were talking Flow. That's when I
Yeah,
first met Joe. The
right.
shit is real. Oh, that was that. I mean, actually, Kid from Kid and Play came up with that. Down on the reel to reel, putting the large professor thing in, which when Premiere did the remix, he ended up scratching it in differently. Um, but you know, that was Kid's idea, which is funny. But yeah, I mean, I remember that session vaguely. I remember him coming up with the reel to reel thing, the large professor's sample. But I don't remember much about that session, to be honest. I remember him doing
Yeah, because when
vocals.
I interviewed Psycho Les and I asked him about it, he said he was having a hard time remembering that session too. Man, roll a clip. And you guys ended up producing on his debut album "Represent" on the song "The Shit Is Real," which the beat is ridiculous
Yeah,
too. Can you talk about what that studio session was like?
I mean, I don't even think he was there because we was doing a lot of remixes for so the remixes you don't have to be there. The vocals was there, but
Oh, he already had the vocals recorded,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
you guys added the beat.
yeah. He already It was like it
Wow,
was some remix shit that we was doing.
that's crazy. So, like, did he have recorded that to another beat first,
Yeah.
or how did that work?
What song was this that you talking about?
The Shit Is Real.
The Shit Is Real. Yeah. He damn, I forgot what beat was that. Trying to remember. I'm not sure if it was a
Off the
remix that we
first.
did or if it was the original one that we did. But yeah, I don't even remember him being in the studio.
Yeah, I'm
It
having.
felt like.
Yeah, all I remember, man. For all I know, Joe could have done the vocals separate. Honestly,
That's what he said. He said that the vocals were already there.
yeah, I think he did it separately, man. That's why I'm not remembering. I'm just remembering putting it together, the hook, and the mix. I'm not remembering Joe doing the lyrics, man. I'm gonna be honest.
Do you remember your first impression of Joe when you met him for FloJo?
Um, yeah, I mean, it was quiet, like it wasn't, when I met Joe, it wasn't like he's, you know, uh, this talker. Um, it wasn't anything that stood out. Um, as far as like,
So
oh,
when
this.
he met you, he didn't say, Fat Joe's back in town.
Nah, yeah, it was never. Yeah, I mean the Joe that that I know is a little different from the interviews you've had in the past or stories you've maybe heard. You know,
What do you mean by that?
well, I mean, to me, it was more like a business joke. That's it. It was never anything this street thug or anything like that. It was never. Um, again, it may have been it's just a different joke. Someone told me, when I was doing the project for Warner Brothers, I was going to ask them to be on it or whatever, and someone said, "Well, it depends which Joe you get." I was like, oh, "Okay, you know." But I mean, I've been in listen, when we did even the songs with Pun, um, Joe, the most I've seen Joe, tell me like, hey, uh, he would come in the room sometimes and be like, man, you always take long. That's one thing I do remember, Joe saying, where it's like, it's like, well, I want to get it perfect. He goes, all right, he'd be a little impatient, but I never remember anything about Joe, you know, in sessions like that was anything crazy that stands out.
Hmm. Got you.
I mean,
So
I've
you
seen
didn't have
people get
like
in his
a.
face. I've seen that and was
You've seen
surprised.
what?
People kind of get in his face, like speak to him in a way that I was like, and I'm standing right there and I'm like, wow, I can't believe this person is speaking like I, at the time I didn't know what's going on, but as I'm seeing some of your interviews,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of answers some of my questions. There was some animosity there, but you
Wow.
know, yeah, I was like, oh, what's happening here? You know, where I've seen people jump out at him.